And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Shikaku, the Silver Super Saiyan. I believe it's Silver SS, but Silver Super Saiyan. Say that 10 times fast. You asked the question, who would have fight, Ultimate Wolverine or Ultimate Spider-Man? It's a pretty short answer in my opinion, but it's still worth noting. Because the Ultimate Universe no longer, exists, but it's not, those comics no longer run. That's an alternate universe within the Marvel continuity. And because of that, it had its own versions of the characters. Now, essentially, the ultimate versions of, like, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America, they are, in essence, the same characters, but there are some minor, some fundamental differences. Example would be, like, Wolverine. Adamantium in the Ultimate Marvel Universe is not as durable as it is in the normal Marvel Universe. Hulk was actually able to dent one of Wolverine's adamantium ribs when they fought the first time in their version of Wolverine versus Hulk. He also ripped Wolverine in half because his ligaments didn't have adamantium infused in him, whereas that seems to be a case with the standard Marvel continuity Wolverine. His healing factor actually isn't as effective as Wolverine's, the standard Wolverine's healing factor, in the sense that Wolverine in the normal Marvel continuity, God, it's going to be hard to get grammar right in this. I'm going to do my best. In the normal Marvel continuity, the original Wolverine the standard Wolverine, is able to regenerate all of his organs, all of his muscles, tissues, within a few minutes after eyes, everything, in a few minutes after being blown up by nitro. Granted, his brain survived, so that's why he was able to do that. That's not the case with Ultimate Wolverine. Ultimate Wolverine, he lost his eye. He had to wear an eye patch for a while because it actually took a little while for his eye to grow back. It does grow back. He can still regenerate those kind of lost organs and things along those lines, but it's not as effective in that sense. However, Nick Fury speculated that because they had captured Wolverine and taken off his head, and Wolverine was still able to talk and all that Wolverine's body mutation isn't necessarily to heal so much as it is to survive. Because again, he survived decapitation, he could maybe even survive being thrown into space. We've even seen Wolverine do that. Granted, it sucked, and he came back, his skin was boiling and all that, but he still survived that. So, yeah, Wolverine's different in this universe than he is in the stand. Still, he's got he also started out as a villain. He was actually working for Magneto, but then that ended. And I believe I said it, but adamantium, not as durable in this universe. Also, not magnetic. That's why Magneto can't necessarily control Wolverine like he could in the normal Marvel continuity. But Wolverine's still Wolverine overall, though. He's still got all the training, all the moral over abilities that standard Wolverine does. Spider-Man, there's not much to say about Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe except that he's actually dead. If I'm not mistaken, isn't the Ultimate Universe where Miles Morales comes from? No, I don't think it is. I can't remember which universe is Miles Morales' universe. Either way, Spider-Man's dead in both those universes. He dies at the end of in the Marvel Universe, Ultimate Marvel Universe. But he's still Spider-Man. He's still got this. He's also a bit younger, I believe, in this version. He's not like the adult Spider-Man you have in the standard Marvel run. He is a much younger kid in this version. Not like teen, but more like young adult teen. If I'm not mistaken, like 16, 17-ish, not like 13 or 14. That being said, he's still got a lot to learn and to go through. So who do I think wins in the fight? Because essentially, in essence, it is Wolverine versus Spider-Man, just with different versions of them. See, here's the honest to God truth. Wolverine actually loses most times in the fight to normal Spider-Man in the standard Marvel continuity. Spider-Man has beaten Wolverine in a straight-out fight. He has. Now, Wolverine truly wanted to kill him. Spider-Man's Spider Sense would probably help him out, but Wolverine could probably easily, if he wanted to, just disguise himself as a friend, talk it out with Spider-Man, and then just stab him right through the chest if he wanted to. Wolverine, if he really wanted to kill Spider-Man, could kill Spider-Man. But in a straight-out fight, he more or less loses to Spider-Man most of the time. But Ultimate versus Ultimate Spider-Man, that's a bit of a different conflict. These two meet in a fight. Spider-Man does surpass him in strength just because of his abilities. But Wolverine's a lot harsher in this world because he started out as a villain. So he's willing to fight even more dirty than, say, normal timeline Logan is, normal version of Logan is. So they might duke it out. Now, Spider-Man's Spider-Sense is definitely going to help him out in the fight. But this is a Spider-Man that hasn't trained in hand-to-hand combat as thoroughly as the more adult Spider-Man has in the normal continuity. Which means Wolverine does get a leg up on him in terms of actual combat. The only thing that really is saving Spider-Man at this point is his actual physical abilities. But his actual skill is lacking. So they'll probably be duking it out for a good while. Wolverine's also a trained mercenary in this version. Like, he is a guy for hire. So he would more than likely be able to deduce certain weaknesses, certain attack patterns out of Spider-Man. So he'd probably avoid the webbing if he could. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean it's going to happen every time. Who ultimately wins in a fight between them? I would probably still give it to Spider-Man, who could, in theory, just web him all the way up. And the webbing is not necessarily easy to cut, so is Wolverine's claws. Maybe not the best answer to Spider-Man's webbing. But if you want, I could see this Wolverine having an easier time with this Spider-Man than normal continuity Wolverine with normal continuity Spider-Man. So I'm going to give the win to Ultimate Spider-Man only because he could probably just keep Logan binded down with the webbing and then just go about his day. But if given the chance, Wolverine I think is definitely going to take him out. I don't think it's as small of a margin of win. So it's that's not the right terminology. I don't think the percentage of win, the win ratio, that's it. The win to loss ratio, I don't think it's as small as it is with normal continuity Wolverine and normal continuity Spider-Man. Although I will say, with Wolverine these days, now that he can heat his claws up, that does circumvent the webbing to some degree. So you could revisit that. Obviously, Ultimate Wolverine doesn't have that ability. So yeah, it's not as small a gap of wins to losses as it is, I think, with the normal Marvel Wolverine versus the normal Marvel Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ultimate Spider-Man, but I think there's a solid chance where Wolverine wins. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Ultimate Wolverine could easily kill Ultimate Spider-Man, easily beat him? Or do you think Ultimate Spider-Man easily beats Ultimate Wolverine? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, though, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Review something. Put in the comments below. Let us know. Do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win. Star Wars, Super, Magic, What If. Anything I do in the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get that at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.